This tutorial will give you a quick overview of the most important parts of Kyno's user interface. For more in-depth information, check out the other more specialized tutorials. On the left-hand side of Kyno's main window, you see the Navigator containing three sections: the Workspace, Devices, and Jobs. The Workspace is a place where you can register folders that you use frequently, much like favorites in Finder on the Mac or bookmarks in a browser. By default, your user home directory is registered here, but you can register any folder here by using the menu or dragging a folder up here. Devices displays all your hard drives or SD cards. Jobs takes you to a list of all currently running or finished background tasks. We'll take a look at this in a separate video. Browsing is pretty straightforward, like in any tree-like file browser. Once you have selected a folder in the Navigator, the media files in that folder are displayed in the browser on the right-hand side. The browser has three view modes. Grid mode with thumbnails, the default, is the best way to visually select files. The first time you open a folder, the extraction of thumbnails is done on the fly and takes a bit longer. The next time you open that folder, it is very fast. List mode displays name, date, and size of the file, but also metadata like duration, resolution, frame rate, and your rating. In both grid and list mode, you have a number of options available in the context menu for single or multiple file selections, like for example to transcode files in a batch. And detail mode, which displays one file at a time with an integrated player, which is also opened automatically when you double-click a file in any of the other two modes. Next to the view mode buttons are the buttons for type filtering. You can use them to filter out the media types that you're currently not interested in. There is also a quick filter for file modification time, which is really handy when browsing SD cards from cameras and you don't clean up often. Next to that, there are the sorting controls. But really the best view type for sorting is list view. Maybe you're looking for a short sample file, so you sort by duration. Or you want to select and copy or transcode the material of a particular frame rate. But let's take a closer look at detail mode. Once in detail mode, you can navigate through the contents of your folder using the previous and next buttons up here, or by pressing Command left or right, which is of course much faster and likely what experienced users will do. At the heart of detail mode, there's the player. Its feature set is comparable to what you're used to from editing software like Final Cut or Premiere, in some aspects even better. Its features are explained in detail in a separate tutorial. Below the player, there's a Metadata Overview area that displays the most important metadata as well as menus for all sorts of operations on the selected file, like transcoding, exporting, copying, etc. On the right-hand side, the Descriptive Metadata tab is selected by default. That lets you add metadata like description, shot, take, or tags to the selected file. More on that in a separate tutorial. The Content tab displays a visual overview of the video clip's content. The Subclips tab contains the subclips that you have created for this video clip, which again is explained in detail in another tutorial that you can find in the related links of this video. The Tracks tab contains detailed technical metadata of all tracks contained in this file. The Histogram tab shows a real-time histogram of the frame currently displayed in the player. Now let's see what happens when I insert an SD card from my camera. You see that the SD card has appeared in the Devices section of the Navigator and was automatically selected. You can also see that the icon representing the SD card contains a little arrow. That arrow signals that the folder is in drill-down mode. Drill-down mode means that when you select a folder, not only the content in that folder, but that in all of its subfolders is displayed on the right-hand side in the browser. This is really useful because it saves us a lot of clicks. On the other hand, you can still browse the real folder structure. The nice thing is that this useful feature is not limited to camera media, but can also be used on any folder, which is a very powerful tool to quickly find media files deeply hidden in any folder structure. Let me show you how. I can select any folder on one of my drives in the Devices or Workspace section of the Navigator, open the context menu and select Drill Down. You can see that the browser on the right-hand side updates its content while it searches all subfolders. For more on using that to quickly search your drives, check out the tutorial Searching and Filtering.